Hit me.
So space. So can we assume that Coulson, when we saw him, that he had a pretty good idea of everything
Hold on, I'm
going
shooting a
on?
little plumber's butt to people behind me.
I like it.
Sorry, go ahead.
When we saw Coulson at the end of the season, can we assume that he had a pretty good idea of everything going on at that point?
That's a really interesting question. What was that point? I know we see him in space. No, I don't think he knows too much. I know he knows a few things by that point that scene is taken, but that
Oh yeah.
that scene might not be the very first moment that you find us in.
Yeah.
Whoa. I mean, he knows that he's working for Thanos. And no, I'm sorry.
All SHIELD agents have lost a lot, have lost people, have lost love. Can we really expect them to be happy in any time?
Did you say it again? Say it
I
again.
expect to be happy.
Coulson?
Coulson,
Daisy?
everyone, yes,
Any
can we
character?
expect them to be happy?
I think, us walking down the street, kicking up our heels, getting a good slice of pizza may not be the best television, but
I'd like an episode of just happiness. No, you know what?
you've talked about this a lot.
all the time.
She wants one where we just go to like Great Adventure
I
and
want
ride
one
a
where
few
all the
rides.
girls of SHIELD go get their hair done, because we all do have really nice highlights. How does
Sexist.
that even happen? So I would like to see that, and then we all go to dinner and then watch Netflix all night. No, you know what I love about the team is so
Watching
resilient.
us watch Netflix, that will get
or
the
just
show
fighting
canceled.
over what to watch. What do you think everyone would want to watch? I'd love to see that. No, the characters are so resilient, and I think something that's been so great. What's so great about Marvel in general is how even in the most intense moments of tension and fighting, and there's always a moment of humor, and I think that there's as dark as it gets, there's always that lightness or that little quirk or a little something to bring us back, which is something I love about
And there's also a little bit, there's this feeling I get from time to time, which is, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And that's definitely going to happen in space when we see some of the terrifying creatures that we're up against. And yet there's always these moments where we look at each other like, oh well, it's a weird job, but it's our job. This is what we do. Mm-hmm. We go to different dimensions, frameworks, deal with L&Ds, space, Kree. Whoops.
That's all right. We already got that spoiler.
Okay, good. Thanos. No.
If this were the final season of Agents of SHIELD, are you ready to say goodbye?
No. I would be. It'll be heartbreaking to say goodbye to these people if it ends up with Coulson once again impaled. It's been 9 years. There'll be some parts of me that will be ready to move on, but I would be really, really sad. I've had such an amazing journey playing this guy. I've developed lifelong friendships. It doesn't always happen, but this is, and partly it's probably because of the crazy schedule we're on, but this is a real family. We care about each other. We hang out when we aren't forced to.
It's been, I started the show. I auditioned for the first time on the show. I had just turned 20, and so this has been it's such a huge part of my life at such a pivotal time, and I would probably cry for weeks and be hysterical and miss my friends, because there's just these are our family. I'm sure you guys get cast in here all the time, and they say they love each other, but
we take a few
really
months off and then we do the film.
Yes.
We'd be the first superheroes to do an indie film, because that's probably all they would give us.
We do that every week.
This will have to be last question, okay? So we left the season with, we're without a director again. And it's interesting to me that a lot of people on Twitter seem to want Daisy to take a shot at it. But
I'm one of them.
I'm not sure if that's something she really wants. Do you see her in that kind of role, or would she prefer to stay a field agent?
I don't think it's something that she doesn't. I think a line that has stayed true for all 96 episodes that we have shot for Daisy is something that I said in my first audition, which is, with great power comes a lot of weird crap that you are not prepared to deal with. And that line, I was in my audition scene, and that has kind of stayed true to every aspect of Daisy, and that has kind of been like the 1 ounce of advice I think she could continuously tell herself that could make sense throughout all of the changes and iterations of the person that she's been since we've seen her. Because I think that the beginning of last season was really her running away from that, and she felt such guilt, and I think something similar. I think Coulson has that too, where they have no. Okay.
Yeah, he does.
Where she wants to protect the people that she loves, so she ran away from them to protect them, and that she realized that's not how families work. Families work where you messed up, I'm here for you. You messed up again, I'm here for you.
That's how families work?
Yeah, they do.
I want to say one thing about this, which is one of the things that I care most about that's been explored on our show is the concept that some people evolve differently. And they are inhumans on our show. And they can take any form. They can take any gender. They can take any orientation, ethnicity. And they're different. And there's a lot of people in the world who don't want those different people and they want to eradicate them. And that hits Coulson on a deep level as being wrong and antithetical to what it means to be human. That to have someone who's probably the closest person in the world to him be an inhuman, I think is a deep reason why he is interested in the idea of having Daisy, who's more than up to the challenge, have an inhuman with so much deep humanity to her be the one who's leading S.H.I.E.L.D. Boom. Thanks, guys.
Water bottle shot.